Let's go over the syllabus for differential equations. Math 85, Fall 2020, online. So I mentioned before, my name is Dr. Crow. My office is on campus, but I can't go there. So it's basically a virtual through Zoom. So you need to have something to use Zoom. I'll get to those details in a second. If you call me to my office, you can leave a message, and I will get that in a couple minutes right after you leave it, and I'll get it through my email. So I'll get back to you, as soon as I can. Let me know best way to reach you if you do happen to have to call me. But the best way, of course, is to email me. So email me, I get to that all the time. Basically, I have have an smartphone, have an iPhone, and I'm on it all the time. So I'll get it, and I'll let you know when I can get back to your question, or just I'll get to you as soon as I can. So during the week, it'll be within less than 12 hours, and then possibly a little longer on the weekend. Okay, and here's your section number for 85. The time, well, there's no set time that's mandatory where I'm covering content. So as I mentioned in the welcome video, the live problem sessions will survey the class and make a time for it. And in those sessions, we'll be just working on problems. The videos will be more of the content and theory, although there's not a whole lot of theory in differential equations, but more of the the background aspect of the how to do stuff. And then just a couple examples. I'll leave the majority of the examples for those problem sessions, like I would do in class, where we'd work on problems together or in groups or something like that. So we'll try to simulate that best we can. Location, so no set location, near good Wi-Fi or Ethernet, of course. Let's see. So office hours are via Zoom, and they're by appointment or will be announced. So basically these sessions are kind of like going to be office hours in a way, but I'll always be available by appointment. Best time for me is about 1 p.m. and on through the evening if needed. And then if it must, by exception, I can meet it in the mornings. But that's my preferred times, and that's what I normally would teach a face-to-face class as well. Required text is Fundamentals of Differential Equations by Nagel. And if I hadn't already shown it to you, if I happen to splice the video together, it looks like that. Hopefully I showed you that already on the welcome video. Prereq for the course is multivariable calculus, so you'll have to be doing concepts that we did in Calc 3 in terms of integration and things like that, and the level of math sophistication, essentially, you need Calc 3 or multivariable calc. So grading scale, this is what we would call our assessment. So how I'm assessing you is going to be quite different than I normally would do in a face-to-face class. So I'll have, and I'll go over this again as I did before in the other video. So 35% of the class will be graded problems that you turn in every 2 weeks. It'll be similar, like maybe the even problems from the text or something I post, and you turn those in. That is assessment, so that you would be cheating if you got help on it. So the graded problems and quizzes are assessment, and that's part of your grade. So that you're not supposed to get help, and it will be open note, open book, but no computer help, no help otherwise. And then quizzes, as I mentioned as well, that those are, I don't know if I went over the details, but those are multiple choice, graded automatically, either ABC, maybe fill in the blank, or select best phrase, that kind of stuff. And then the final exam is worth 30%. Okay, and I haven't decided exactly how that's going to be administered, but we'll talk about that more as we go in the class. Okay, and it's comprehensive, all that stuff. So also make sure you, there we go. Read through this more carefully, the homework and quizzes. So I'll be picking, you'll be uploading them to Canvas, and I'll be grading it right there, right on Canvas, your homework. So that's how I'm giving you feedback on your actual work. And it'll mimic what I would do on a normal exam. I usually do 3 exams in a final, so this is just basically spreading it out. And then the final. Okay. Right, so then let's talk just attendance. Really, you just need to be participating, logging on. Ideally, you make all the live sessions, but that won't be mandatory. Okay, so if you stop coming to class, I could drop you, meaning coming to class. If you stop accessing Canvas, then I may ask, are you doing anything? You're not turning in anything. And those are grounds to be dropped. However, I may not drop you, so check that. I changed my expectations to hopefully match a little better an online situation. So you can go through all those little details and take a look at that. Also, keep your cell phones on silent during a meeting. I don't want them going off either. Okay, next page. So here's our tentative outline of all the chapters. I did not go section by section yet. I have not used this book before, so I want to go through it a little more carefully as I go. But those are the basic sections or chapters we'll be covering. And hopefully we get to chapter 9. That's the intent, to do a couple sections in that. So as we go, I will be, I'll get ahead of you at some point and be clear on what sections we'll be covering in the future. Same goes for the homework. I posted the homework up to chapter 2. So when I start a new book, I don't like to go through the whole book. I like to kind of go, take my time picking it and verifying the problems. So I did that. So I will keep adding on to that as we go. And then final exam, like I mentioned, we'll talk about later. Graphing calculus. So all this next one is actually more important than usual. Calculators and supplies. You need to have a electronic equipment that allows you to download and upload PDFs from Canvas. So download them from Canvas, upload to Canvas. So you need to be able to access Canvas, obviously. And use Zoom with video. So you need all of that. Make sure you have the video for Zoom as well. So you could technically, theoretically, do this all on your smartphones, although it sometimes can be a little more difficult that way. You will need, it's not mandatory you're able to print, but you have to be able to scan and upload your work. And then problems I send you, you'll be able to look at them. So anyway, you get the idea. Okay, Math Success Center, probably not going to get a whole lot of help there because you're at the highest level. Many of you maybe are trying to work in a Math Success Center and you're trying to do things virtually, which you know how difficult it can be. So student learning outcomes. These are not correct. So I'll have to change that. Basically, it's analyze differential equations. It's the same type of statement, essentially. Synthesize and analyze differential equations and do different aspects of it. So I'll fix that. Read through the personal note from me. Student behavior will be followed. Usually not really an issue at this level, but still applicable. So don't want you to record any aspects of the course. I will be recording it myself and send it to you. It mostly pertains to in-class stuff, but same idea. Please read through the quotes. I have some pretty good quotes there I've gathered over the years. So that's pretty much it, aside from the SLOs. I'll have to go fix those before I post, but you get the idea. Everything else is accurate. If you have any specific questions or concerns, best way to do is email me. And then if you want to speak to me more directly, we will set up a Zoom meeting. Okay? Hopefully have a great semester, and we'll be in touch again soon.